All right, welcome back, Weather Kingdom. I hope everybody's having a great night. I know it's been a very busy and stressful day for many Americans. We will be talking about this major winter storm with my first snowfall forecast map. We'll have another one tomorrow, and then a third one too for tomorrow, for Saturday, actually. For Saturday night is my next and last snowfall map. So just give me a few minutes before we start here. We'll be talking about this very catastrophic snowstorm to come. It is looking very problematic. So, manual, automatic, manual. Okay. Okay, just save that. Just give me one moment. Hope everybody's doing well right now. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everybody's having a great and wonderful day. Welcome, everyone. Great night. All right, just give me a few minutes. I'm going to be starting the stream out in just a few minutes. I just need a few more minutes, all right? All right. Hello, hello. Nice to see the people from yesterday. One moment. All right. How is everybody doing? How is everybody doing? I hope everyone's doing well on this lovely night. We have a lot to talk about, a lot of winter outlook. All right. Give me 1 second. I'm getting some things all situated here. I'm getting the YouTube video. If you guys are new, please like. Let's get up to about 50. Let's get a goal tonight of 50 likes. Let's get a goal of 50 likes. Thank you guys for hitting 1,300 subscribers. It was very greatly appreciated. Thank you for all the support last night. That was absolutely wonderful and amazing. We have a lot to take under place here, okay? A lot. So, as I'm beginning this stream, I'm doing good. I'm ready for the stream. I'm ready to rock and roll. We got a lot to talk about. All right, so let me start drawing this map out here. Let's start getting the basics here of what's going on. So, once again, polar air just continues to slam in here. We got our polar air coming right into the northern hemisphere. This is crashing down right now into the northeast. Southeast. My day was pretty good. What did you guys do today? So, all right, 1 second. All right, 1 second. All right, let's get, this is our Baja California low right in here. You can already see what's going on. Right in there, our lovely circulation is coming back into California. This is rotating very nicely back in here, right? Anyone else? How is everyone else doing? It'll be Alright, so went shopping for today's supplies. Sounds great. You guys definitely should be shopping here. Alright, let's get this going. Alright, we are already at 3 likes. Let's get a few more. Alright. We're going to post that. I'm just getting some places all set up in here. This is our low pressure coming in right here. This is the boundary front that we're going to be having also. This is that boundary front that's wavy right in here, right? This is where all the moisture is going to be. This right here, if we turn this to green, I'm going to actually do that. We're going to kind of draw this out a little bit. If you can tell in the low levels, we do have some showers coming from the Gulf of Mexico and streaming north already. And we're also having that happen in Texas. This is the beginning of a monster snowstorm to take place. So this moisture will continue to progress up in here. And this is going to continue to evolve while we got a very cold air mass coming down from Siberia and Canada. And then this low is going to kind of join in with this one. So this is going to continue to march. And this is going to become one massive ice storm, snowstorm across this region. Massive. The precipitation's there for its fullest. I'm looking very forward to tracking this all with you guys. All right. What are you guys doing today? We're getting some self-promote. Let's do that. We got a long night ahead of us tonight. We're going to be live for the 0Z model data. So keep that in mind. Live for the 0Z model data. This is kind of the pattern. This is going to set up a monster snowstorm. Okay. Now I want to start talking a little bit more about this. Not that yet. All right. Let's take a look at the NAM model. The NAM model is coming in with some 0Z data. Has anything changed with the chance of freezing rain and maybe impacts of Long Island? We'll be talking about that. So I know you guys are asking for some already questions. We got some of the mesoscale models coming in. So you're asking for Long Island, okay? If you guys are new to the channel, please like it, please subscribe. So this is for Long Island here, right? And I'm going to show you the latest NAM. I have not seen it myself. We're going to take a look at the NAM, the GFS, the European, and we're going to see how much snow are you guys expecting and the exact things. So just give me one moment. All right, we're going to get as closely as possible here. And then we're going to deal with the timing also. So this starts about Sunday morning in the beginning. You can already see we got some moderate snow, a thumping of snow. That's already a guarantee. And then we see the snow continue to slam through. We get into some of the heavier ratios later throughout the day. And then you can already see we do talk a little bit about a freezing line here. So this is the latest 0Z. And I want to compare the 18Z. I'm not a big fan about the NAM. The NAM stays 0Z, the snow's a little bit further north. The NAM does indicate the sleet and freezing rain does make it in a new Long Island. I'm not really buying that yet. It's very far out. I don't think it's going to make it that far. But if the NAM scenario happened, you are talking about a way less scenario solution. I'm not really buying this because none of the models, but in the low end, you're still getting up to almost 8 to 10 inches across New York City. I think this is way off. I think it's doing the warm surge too much, but we'll keep an eye on this. When we take a look at some of the other model data, okay, I'm going to show you the majority. I'm not really buying NAM too much, okay? I just can't. It hasn't been really doing good with this storm at all. But you can see the NAM 3 cam here starting to get its way in the 60-hour mark. When we take a look, let's just take a look at the wrap. Okay, so the wrap doesn't go out that far. We can take a look at that. Let's take a look at the European here. Actually, let's see the time frame on this for the 0Z. If this did happen. Okay, I'm not buying this, but if this happened, you're talking about 1 in the morning on Sunday. This continues with a thumping of snow through 1 o'clock Sunday. And then even through 7 o'clock. And then your changeover across New York. Just the I-78 on south will be around 10 o'clock at night. And then you get into a little bit of lull. Low pressure starts forming. And you get that back end snow. I'm not really buying this scenario yet. This is a very far solution to the north, and I just don't see it happening. All right. When we take a look at the RGM, the RGM supports of an idea here that the snow starts around midnight here across PA, New York. Okay. Just give me 1 second. I want to do something quickly. All right, one moment. All right, so we already got 13 people already watching. Nice to see. Hey, Weather Kingdom, they're got New York City up to 20 inches too. Up to 20 inches. Yeah, it's possible. I was just talking about the NAM model not on the right place here. So there's an ad right here. Let's get the chat board going right there. All right, the panel's open. Okay. So when we take a look at this model, all right, this wants to start around 12 in the morning. And then your heavier snows starts about, I would say, later Sunday morning into Sunday afternoon, probably around 12. You can, I want to show some frontal genesis stuff too. I'll explain a little bit more about that. It's going to help with the rates and ratios of the snowfall that we are looking at. And the RGM says New York is snowing like crazy. New Jersey, Pennsylvania, everybody's snowing steady to even moderate. And even in some spots, maybe even heavy by 11, 12 o'clock on Sunday with the model. Then you get into a little bit mixing. The RGM is the 18Z. It did come up a little bit. It does want a little bit mixing into the Long Island area. I'm keeping an eye on this. This is some of the mesoscale. This is not the 0Z, so I want to see what the 0Z run says first. But when we take a look at the FV3, this model's also starting to wander itself in. So we're going to have to keep an eye on these other mesoscales. But when we take a look at the European and the ice potential, you get that thumping of snow. You start around 4 in the morning, 12 o'clock, somewhere from 12 to 4 a.m. across eastern Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and then New York, probably closer to 8 in the morning. This continues to snow throughout the morning hours up to easily 12, 1 o'clock. And you also see some of your moderate to heavy snow starting to break out here. Another thing we start to see is a coastal low developing off the Carolinas coast. How quick does the develop off the coast is really going to depend on how robust some of these rates can be. So, let's take a look at the latest. So, this is 1 o'clock. Let's go on to 4 p.m. The European says it's a little bit more south. This is the latest 18Z run out of this. Coastal low starts developing. You start getting those gusty winds. You're going to be having an onshore breeze in the beginning of the storm. So it's actually going to bring some mild air up in the upper atmosphere, around 500 millibars, even 800 millibars. And then further to the surface, you're looking at a stand steady of cold air. All right. And then this model says the mixing gets up to Long Island and then areas like that. We'll look at some of the European ratios in just a moment. GFS is a little bit of a colder solution. This is says it wants to start around 7 in the morning, a little bit more delayed. And then you see by 1 o'clock it's snowing pretty steady to even some heavier snowfall. And then boom, you're snowing even at 1 a.m. Your freezing line actually stays in South New Jersey. You stay all snow in Long Island, and you stay as a snowstorm into the afternoon on Monday. I'm very interested on how this plays out because there's some differences in the modeling data still. I wanted the 0Z is starting to run on the RGM. We're going to have 0Z data coming in. And usually 0Z data is very fresh data. This is parts of Recon too. Actually, Recon left the storm. So this was, I'm pretty sure this morning, they even did some Recon in the Gulf. So all this information's going into the model data at 0Z. All the new information goes in the 0Zs and 12Zs. That's why I'm kind of waiting on some of the 0Z model data as of right now. So, any questions? Does anyone have any areas that you want me to cover? Also, thank you guys. We are at 8 likes already. Let's get the likes up a little bit. Let's get our first goal to 10 likes. So let's get 2 more likes. Let's start liking everybody. We got a lot to cover. It's just the beginning. So I did say I want to talk a little bit about the frontal genesis. Okay. This is 0Z data. I have not looked at it. So I want to explain what is it. So in the blue is lighter rates. All right. More of drier air and lighter rates. In the red, you're talking about in some higher rates up in the atmosphere. You're talking about some heavier precipitation. You're talking about more into the way of a thumping. And you're going to see it very well in the model. I'm going to show a lot of models today as the 0Z rolls in. Okay. And basically this is, let's start getting into, all right, the storm action. Look at this monster. Look at this storm. A lot of heavy rates. So these purple lines, the red here, this is up to 1 to 3 inches an hour. And that thumping of snow. It's going to need some impressive snowfall rates out of this. This is just a NAM. We got some other models to take a look at. But I really want you guys to hone in on some of these areas. Look how this in the Northeast just explodes. This is about 4 o'clock, you guys. Remember, it is snowing heavy. This is when it's snowing the heaviest. And look at this frontal genesis. It's very impressive frontal genesis here in the atmosphere. This right here is probably 1 to 3, even locally 4 inches an hour in those snowfall rates. I'm not the only one saying that. If you look around Twitter, it's a lot of people also indicating that much of the potential. I am looking at that also. And I want you guys to keep going into the model. It's not the only. Look how that continues to move north. As you know, if you stay all snow, this is going to be a absolutely close to 20-inch snowstorm. The rates are very impressive. These start entering the area by 7 o'clock. You're later. I mean, these are intense rates. 1 to 3, 2 to 4 inches an hour. And these continue into the morning on Monday as the precip now starts to die down and that secondary low starts to take place. You still got some very heavy snow going on. So keep that in mind. What is the rate of the snow expected? In many areas, the rates of the snow in that thumping leading edge of the snow, you could be expecting up to potentially 1 to 3 inches an hour. Okay? That's that frontal genesis. That's how much snow. So you're going to be expecting 1 to 3 inches an hour. But also, I do want to say, those winds are going to start cranking up, everybody. I know we have not talked about it too much, but even here, you start getting into some of those cranking winds. This is the NAM3 cam. When that storm starts to begin, I want you guys to really take a look. If the model shifts a bit south, how does New York City looks in the terms of snow? You will probably be looking into, this storm is going to be history for real. Yes, this has the very chances of being some good history in many cases. So, this is the NAM3 cam. I cannot wait until tomorrow for some of the NAM model. The NAM model will be great for tomorrow. I can't just trust it just yet. But you're looking at some very intense rates. Like I said, 1 to 3. But also, as the storm is beginning to develop, look at what also starts to develop. You're starting to develop some winds with that coastal low. Look at that. You're now starting to get, that, northeast wind up to about 10 to 15 miles an hour. And you might not think that's a lot, but as you start talking about the wind with temperatures, I know I didn't discuss the wind and temperatures that much. I really want to cover that today in the frontal genesis before I really start answering some questions, because as people continue to come and join the stream, I know we're going to be getting some questions in the next couple hours. And I'm really going to want to answer those questions after I get all this information out. Also, some of the latest icon model and that. So, everybody, go like the stream right now. Let's get our goal up. Let's see how many people actually just liked, because I know I haven't looked since. So, we're at 10 likes. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Let's get our next goal up to 20 likes. So if you have not liked the stream, please go like the stream. If New York City gets freezing rain, it would be catastrophic. So on that, I don't think you're expecting freezing rain. If anything, I see a wintry mix, but I don't see a freezing rain. Because when I look at freezing rain, there is some. We're going to have to keep an eye on it. Some of the freezing rain does want to make it in the Washington, D.C. area and the Delmarva and New Jersey with a no spike. And up to maybe 2 to 3 tenths of an inch. New York just a glaze, thankfully. But just to the south in southern New Jersey, you get up to maybe 2 to 3 tenths of an inch of ice. So I do really want to keep that in mind. Be careful, because this could be a really big problematic storm. All right, I don't think New York will get ice. I don't think it's going to be even this far north. Most of the models are more south, but we have to just continue to keep an eye on it. Okay? Very important stuff. One moment, let me do this. We're going to share. Thank you for another like. That's awesome. Thank you. Very, very appreciated. All right. So I'm looking at I don't see a lot of people say, I'm looking at some of the Twitter posts, I don't trust the NAM at the range, but here it is. Why? Okay, so why people don't trust the NAM here? You might be wondering, why are you not trusting the NAM? So the NAM you cannot trust because for how far it is. You see how it only goes 84 hours? When it's this far and you're still talking about these hours, you can't trust it completely. And I'm going to be understanding why. It's because it's a mesoscale model. You have to wait a day or two. And it's only been a day since it came in the area. This NAM will be 20 times better than tomorrow. I will really rather wait until tomorrow to use the mesoscale models than today. So just keep it up. Because of a Monday commute, it's going to be very dangerous. But you do see some gusty winds as this low starts to develop. You're going to get that onshore breeze here. And you also got a suppressing high up here. So it's really going to be bringing in some easterly winds. 15 to 20 mile an hour with gusts up to maybe 30, 35 mile an hour. Wouldn't be out of the table. I'm going to be really honest with you guys. Okay? And then the winds continue to ravage across the area. But remember, I'm not fully die in on it. So we looked at the NAM. I want to take a look at the latest RGM because now we're at 39 hours out. All right. We got a question. So do you still see the threat of some places to see blizzard conditions, or has the model subsided the winds? Believe it or not, the winds have actually gone up. The chances of a blizzard in spots actually have gone up, especially in the New England area, where this thing really starts to get strong and robust. So in actual terms, it's a lot more. All right. So, yeah, more of the way of that. So, the RGM is coming in. We're going to take a look at that. All right, RGM is right here. It's not even ready just yet. Nope, not yet. So, we have to wait a little bit for the RGM model. Let's take a look at the European. All right, I want to look at this. All right, let's take a look here. This is by 10 p.m. on Saturday. Okay, look how this starts coming in by the morning. You're going to start getting into that snow. This is the European, and look at that beauty. That is some heavy snowfall rates down there. Even the European, the best model, and look at this Frontal Genesis at 18Z. You're talking about some pretty steady rates going into your morning hours. You're going to be snowing pretty heavy out ahead of the thump. This is the thump down here. This is where you're talking about 2 to 4 inches an hour. Okay? And look how this starts coming up by 4 o'clock. I mean, this is throughout the entire day. You're going to have bands on bands of snow across the regions. And then as it gets later into 7 o'clock, depending on that ice. I mean, this is where it's going to be right against here. And this is going to be very interesting because when we get an ice line, wherever that sets up to the north, That's where your heaviest totals usually end up being. And with the models, it likes it right in the diehard of the Lehigh Valley, northern New Jersey, New York City, places like that. And boom, your heaviest precip goes into these areas as the ice line moves north. Okay, this will be probably around 10 o'clock. Your heaviest snowfall rates into the afternoon and night, and then your back end with some heavier precip. Okay, very, very interesting stuff. The GFS here on this also shows it. This is into, so this is by Sunday morning around 7 a.m. Right, 7 a.m. This is by 1 o'clock. Remember, the storm is a little bit more delayed on the GFS, but look how this starts marching here. You got a steady to heavy period already. At least a half an inch of snow an hour rates across Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, out ahead of this. This is the bands that you have to watch out when this starts getting into the area. Later in the afternoon. That's going to be your heavy, heavy band. And the GFS says right now, it wants, I mean, this is in the 700 millibar. It wants to bring it in by 1 o'clock, and it's a little bit more aggressive. Take that in mind. That goes into New York, that goes into New England, and then it kind of goes backwards as of 7 in the morning. This is the 700 millibar. This is the 850, a little bit more south, and then like that. So just keep that in mind, okay? One moment, I'm quickly doing something here on the side. I'm getting some data. All right. Alright, so let me quickly fix this. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna fix the title of the video because this is more like it. Alright. Give me one moment, I'm just fixing some stuff here on the sidelines. I have to, because I need to. And we're also waiting on some model data. Alright. We got 11 people watching, nice to hear that. Any questions right now? I know we're at 12 likes. Let's get up to 20 likes. The more likes we can get up to, the more it gets out to people. So let's get up to like 12 likes, everybody. Let's do it. I do want to say here, this is, okay, so what was I wanting to look at? So I want to look at, the RGM is still coming out. Okay, RGM is even better out. Okay, this is good. RGM is a little bit more out. Let's take it into the continental U.S. There's a storm. We'll talk about Texas and areas like that in just a moment. And then look at this, you guys. RGM really cranking it here. To me, it looks a little bit more delayed. So what is going on here? And this is actually a very important thing here. With the storm being actually more delayed, this kind of makes things a little bit interesting. Because this is your swinging trough here, right? This is a very positive tilted trough. But in some sense, this is a Miller B type. Okay, let me explain this a little bit better here. Let's bring out the black marker. So this is your trough back in here. All right. This is positive. All right. This is your low. This is one of your lows. This is the other low. This is out ahead of it. The further this kind of delays itself into later Sunday, the better of chances of no school on Tuesday continues to rise. But also, what it also does, it deepens the low even further. Because now it's attaching to the positive tilted trough. So what does that do is it tries to make the positive tilted trough more into a negative trough. And if that does happen, that means this low off the coast would strengthen more rapidly. And more rapid strengthening means higher snowfall totals and a longer duration event. Okay? That's why I'm also watching the models. Because you see it here. If you go back one run, you go back another, you can see where we kind of been slowing it down a bit. And what that's doing also, it's just deepening this low pressure for the East Coast. Really not good, actually, believe it or not. It deepens it very well here on the RGM already. But you're talking about, a very deep 999 already. But you see what I mean? Because as this coastal low, look at this. This is the trough, but as this coastal low is here, this is the last run. With that being a little bit more positive, let's say this low now in the 0Z is a little bit more delayed, and this is more in the positive. This is going to help to deepen this coastal low a little bit quicker. So I'm really watching for pushback trends because that would deepen this nor'easter even further, strengthen the wind, and this would make problems at a whole nother level. Okay? That's a trend I want you guys to watch in the next coming day because we still got some time on this, everybody. We still do. Also, we are at 12 likes. Let's get 8 more likes. Let's get this up to 20 likes. We have about 20 people here. Let's get up to 20 likes, everybody. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. We did hit 1,300 subscribers. Very greatly appreciated. But I'm really dissecting this storm. This is a storm that I just have to. Also, I do want to say thank you for the brand new subscriber. We are now at 1,314. Let's get 6. Our goal is to get 6 subscribers today. Actually, let's get 10. Let's go today 10 new subs. Let's do it. Put it out there. 10 new subs. Let's do it, everybody. We're going to be rocking and rolling here. I'm born ready here in this one. All right. We got, okay. Ours just came out. Look at this robust nor'easter. Look at that. So this is the latest 0Z. This is 18Z. What does that do here? I want you guys to look here. So actually, let's keep it here. All right. We're going to quickly go into this frame, right? I want you guys to see what happens here. The low is a bit more stronger in this part. This is 18Z. I thought so for a second. All right. Look at that. It's a little bit stronger and pushed back. So I want to kind of zoom into here with the RGM. All right. What does that mean here? Look at that. Heavier snowfall totals. All right. You see how we're getting even now heavier snowfall totals starting to show up on the mesoscales? Like, look at that band. This is about a 3 to 4 inch hour band right there on the RGM going into Philadelphia. Very crazy thump. Also, look at the coastal low. Your winds are more into the low. You're talking about a stronger low. A stronger coastal low, more banding features. And how do I know there is banding features in the model? You see all these dots here of these like bandings? Those are heavy bands. Those are 2+ inches an hour bands. Okay, keep that in mind. Very crazy stuff here when we're taking a look at this. Okay, let's keep it going. Let's keep an eye out on this. The line does make it up there, but it's a little bit actually better with the snowfall. Believe it or not, it really hasn't budged on the 0Z too much. It showed a little bit less, but that snowfall rate right there, that's very impressive snowfall rates. And how do I know? Is look, so remember what I was saying, if this gets pushed back more, higher snowfall rates. So this is the last run of the RGM. Actually, can I go into, I want to look at pixeler pivotal weather. We're going to look at something here. RDPS. All right. So this is this version. I want to look at, let me make sure this is, I am pretty sure that's right. So, I'm pretty sure. So, let's take a look at the total snow of Courage here. I'm pretty sure the RDPS and the... Now... Alright. You see how it's a little bit more snow? This is a 10-in-1 ratio. This could be even more. But I want you guys to take a look. You see how, look at northern New Jersey, and then look at this. Boom. You see how it's a bit more higher totals? You're starting to see more of the whites and greens. That tells me the coastal low is developing even quicker. Okay? And this is by 72-hour mark here. Look how strong this low pressure is. You got a very well-defined low pressure going on here. You got some heavier totals. And this is, remember, this is only 72 hours out. And you already got all this snow. You already got as much as the last run. And then boom. So, very interesting stuff to take a look. Also, let's go into the 0Z now. Let's see how the trough is looking. So, look. It's a little bit interesting. So, at this point, the trough is right in here. Yep. That is... Actually, wait. Let me just make sure. So your Boeing is out in here. And then... So it's slightly tilted positive still on the 0Z. But I want to take a look at the 18Z. The 18Z was a bit more like this. You see that? Look. But the newer one is a little bit more neutral, okay, compared to the 0Z. That's why we're watching the trends. Because, you know, maybe we could get that secondary low to develop a little quicker. All right. And then this is that latest model here. Is that coastal low is a little bit more dynamic right across the East Coast. And in this scenario, you're looking at your snowfall totals. Look at this, you guys. The latest model. Look at some of this. This is the 0Z. Look at the 18Z. A lot less snow. But look at 0Z. A whole bunch more snow. Okay? That's why I'm really keeping an eye on things. I'm keeping an eye on the ratio bands. Now I want to take a look at the 850 here of that. And then we should be taking a look at the icon. Alright. Let's get up to 20 likes, everybody. We got about 20 people here. Let's get a goal of 50 people. We actually just hit 20, thankfully. We are at 12 likes. If you guys are enjoying the stream and staying tuned, please like the stream. You know, that helps to engage more people into the weather, more questions. Because we have not had that many questions tonight yet. So we'll just wait on it. But look at the RGM here. Look at this. By 5 in the morning, you look at the heavier precip compared to the 0Z. Look at some of these heavier bands with the model. It's heavier than actually the nail model. Look at some of these heavier bands out ahead of the frontal genesis band. This makes it look like a face because of the eyes too, right here. Boom. Look at that little face feature that's showing up on the RGM with this storm. Not a happy face, all right? But look how throughout the day, that continues to move north and strengthen. And look at this. Whoa. This is by 4 o'clock, you guys. 4 o'clock with the RGM on Sunday afternoon at 4. And look at the snowfall. Some of your heaviest precip of your snow. This line is going to matter so much. If this line is just a little bit more south than the next run, you're talking about even higher totals. All right. Look at your frontal genesis at this moment. And all right. This is your frontal genesis, and this is where your heaviest precip is, okay? And then that continues to move north. So some very important stuff going on here. All right. Let me do a few more things here. All right. So we have some other models to take a look at. We got the icon. Okay. So let's go into the continental U.S. We're starting to get into the... Okay. We're actually starting to get into the hype of it. Look at this. We got some new data out. And I'm very interested. New data is coming out. Look at the icon. That coastal low is a little bit closer to the coast. Look at the jump, you guys. But look at the heavier frontal band here. All right. I wanted to show you guys this. Look at from previous runs to now. Even though the precipitation shield has continued to strengthen, look at the latest 0Z. It's showing more in the way of a little bit shorter. I mean, maybe a little bit less there. But these two pieces coming together a little bit better. So look at that. You got your main low developing. You got your main developing low back in here. You got your coastal low right here. What this is doing is it's kind of creating a massive belt of rotation like this. And this is a very impressive storm. I mean, you're talking about 1 to 3 inches an hour all across Pennsylvania, Ohio, Chicago, just south of Chicago, in the Great Lakes regions. It's very crazy stuff here. I'm really interested on the 0Z model data of the potential snow. Okay. Very interesting. All right. You think there's going to be more winter storms like this or worse of this season? So there is another signal of a snowstorm after this one, but I'm not going to talk about it. Okay, the pattern looks amazing for more snowstorms, and I do think another potential blizzard across the East Coast is very possible. It looks like next week, after 3 days after this one, it wants to be another blizzard with a much stronger low. I'm going to just quickly show it here for the fun and giggles. Okay, we're going to show you the GFS here on this one. This storm moves by, and then this is by the 29th. You get another Miller B type nor'easter. Hey, Critty, nice to see you. My boy, Weather Kingdom, it's been a while. Nice to see you, Critty. Please like the stream. Please subscribe, man. I actually know you're subscribed, but please like. It'll be very greatly appreciated. But look at that. GFS been cranking it out with a potential nor'easter around the 30th. Another potential blizzard, 989 millibars. And this cranks into a 981. And then all of a sudden, you're talking about a 969 millibar. An absolute wind monster snowstorm. And then the pattern just looks great. Another potential of a nor'easter. And then even another chance around February 6th. And it just continues of the chances. So, very impressive stuff here. Oh, wow. I cannot wait for the icon. Icon is very important here. So, some of the mesoscales have gone up in Snowfall. Icon's looking a little bit more robust. That is a little worrying. Because if these models keep robusting these snowfall rates, I mean, you're going to be talking about paralyzing snow across the region. Okay. So, when we take a look at the latest icon, this is a pretty good model. It's not the best model. It's not the best recommended, but I like to take a look at all the data because the icon has done good sometimes. So it's worth taking a look at. And it kind of tells you what's the trend going to be with the new set of model data because usually the icon is the first major one. So I'm just keeping that in mind. But you can see the icon 0Z really bombs it out here. And it gets that freezing rain, actually, and that ice potential. This is, I think, sleet. No, this is... this is freezing rain. It likes to get it up to maybe New York City. It's not too bad with the lining here. You get that frontal end snow. This goes by 6 hours. And then that back end to develop there. This is... yeah, the latest model data. I'm pretty sure. Let me take a look at the Curry Snowfall. Let me make sure this is it. Okay. We're going to have to wait a little bit more for that. RGM completely out. There it is. And then that coastal low. You see that coastal low really likes to try and develop. And then look at this. If this can hold back a little bit, look at that. Your trough becomes right in here. This is your low. If this can be over here and this can be a little bit more like this, you're talking about a New England blockbuster. What's winter without nor'easters, right? Exactly. What is it without nor'easters? I agree with that statement. That's a great statement right there. I hope everybody's doing great tonight. If you guys are new, please like, please subscribe. Let's get more people engaged with the weather. It'll be very awesome. We got 13 likes, so thank you for that. Thank you for 1,300 subscribers. Let's get a goal up to 20 likes. It'll be very greatly appreciated. Let me quickly do something, actually, quickly. We're going to be live for probably another 30 minutes to an hour. I do want to look at some of the GFS data. Thank you. All right, so let's get some hype here. Just give me a second. All right. Let's continue to see how this plays out. Thank you guys. We are getting closer to the goal of 20 likes. That will be awesome. Hey, NC player 1031. Nice to see you. Thank you guys. We have now hit 15 likes. Let's get 5 more likes. Let's keep it going because more likes we get, the more people we get engaged with the weather. Okay. So once again, we're just watching this before I even take a look at some of the snowfall total and rates. This is the latest icon thinking. Let's see here. So icon, do not worry about the rain. So you get that frontal end, the heaviest around the afternoon. What's going on in here? So what's going on in here is a massive potential snowstorm looking more and more likely. We're taking a look at the snowfall. We're taking a look at the model data. We're just taking a look at all of this and kind of getting my own forecast and kind of telling you guys how I get my own forecast and some of the data behind this winter storm because we got some very unique parts to this. This is a monster snowstorm across the region here. This is a multi-day lasting, over 24-hour lasting snowstorm looking very likely. So, if you guys have any questions about your area, exact area, feel free to ask that in the chat. Let's take a look at some of this stuff here. So, all right, one moment. We're gonna we're waiting on the GFS that's coming out pretty shortly, actually. But let's take a look at the fun and giggles. Actually, I'd rather wait for the GFS and the 0Z. I like looking at the 0Z model data. We're waiting on the mesoscales for tomorrow because they take a little bit longer because they're shorter term with the models. So, let's take a look at the icon on the latest. Remember, this does not show the ice and freezing rain. So, if you do assume that's just plain old rain, it's not. You can see it right here. It should be an ice thing here, but this model does not have that. But you can see that mixing line does get up to Long Island in areas like this. It's a little bit closer to the coast. That frontal end thump of snow. Sadly, the model does not have the frontal genesis, what I want to show you. We looked at that on the European here. We're really waiting on some of the model data. This is this is at 60 hours. We have to wait a little bit more on that. The NAM model does like the idea of a blockbuster snowstorm and then that coastal low to take shape here. So, boom. Kind of waiting right now. A little bit on the models. Alright, you guys, the GFS is actually coming out, speaking of it. It's coming out here. It's at 9 hours. So we should be getting this in a short, actually a little bit more now. So we should be getting it in short amount of time here soon. Okay. So just one moment. All right, we've been live for almost an hour, so I really appreciate all the support in the last hour. We are at 17 likes. Let's get up to our goal, once again, 20 likes. That'll be very greatly appreciated. The more likes, the more shares. It helps to tell YouTube. Also, I know there's a lot of YouTubers right now live on this and keeping a lot of people also notified too. So, you know, I understand on that department. But let's take a look at the 18Z GFS. This just showed a monster. I'm going to just tell you this right now. Look at that. Absolutely bomb of a snowstorm. You're talking about some gusty winds here. I actually did want to talk about something. Is the temperatures. Because I know we had some talk a little bit earlier today about the temperature forecast. What's the temperature going to be like across this storm? So, let me go into here. Let's do that. Let's go into surface. Let's go into temps. Yeah. Let's go into, this is the beginning. Let's go into the beginning of the storm here. So, actually, all right. All right. Sounds good. So, let's get into the storm of the peak here. This is about 7 a.m. Let's start talking about... I think this is 10 p.m. Yeah. So, this is the temperatures going into Saturday night, into Sunday morning here. Okay, we just dropped dramatically. What's going on? Did the stream crash? All right, so this is the temperatures going into Saturday night around 10 o'clock. These temperatures do want to continue to drop. You're talking about most of the areas across the Northeast in the single digits. Southern Pennsylvania, central Pennsylvania into the teens, most likely. This continues to drop into 4 a.m. when the snow actually starts. So when the snow starts, you're fine. And here in Vermont, hey, Red Belt, nice to see you. Thank you. I already know that the stream is fine. Good. Good. All right, good. I'm glad to hear that. So this is about 4 a.m. Oh, okay. At least the audio. What do you mean? One second. All right. Once again, if you guys are new to the channel, please like, please subscribe. We're trying to share. We're at 18 likes. We have 2 more for our goal. We've been live for about an hour. We're taking a look at the temperatures of the model. This is about 4 a.m. on Sunday morning. The temperature continues to stay very cold. Going into 10 o'clock, you guys. I want you guys really take a look at that with the nail. Look at 10 o'clock in the morning when it's snowing. If you're in the Poconos, if you're in the mountains in this storm, it's going to be wind chills below zero. If you look at Mount Pocono, they have a temperature at 10 a.m. about 8 degrees. In the mountains, probably closer to 5 degrees. This is not even wind chills. Even across Philly, New York, very cold, below 15 degrees. So it's a very cold storm. And this storm actually gets even a little bit colder, believe it or not, in some of these mountain regions by 1 o'clock. You can really see it here by 1 o'clock. It actually expands that white a bit. And then it continues to expand by 4 o'clock. And this snow, actually, the temperatures continue to rise on the southern part, maybe up to 15 degrees. Warmer towards Philly, about 20 to 21 degrees. And then that back end already starts to warm up. Maybe your max is 23 degrees in some areas. It's going to be very hard to reach that. And as you're looking at this, Nori, look at this. This is going to Sunday in the morning. A little bit colder. A lot more widespread of the colder. And then, boom, you're talking about your daytime highs not even getting out of 15 degrees. You're talking about wind chills way below 5 degrees. You're talking about probably wind chills pretty cold, believe it or not. And then you also got that back end wind. You're going to have that front end wind too. That's going to be a very big problem. Okay, so, all right, we're going to be looking at the snow forecast in just a moment. I was waiting a little bit on the GFS because I'm kind of waiting on the model data out of the GFS here. Because I know we have some important data out of the GFS to talk about. All right, so this is the snowstorm. Let's compare the runs, 18Z, 0Z. All right, a little bit more pushback, I can notice. Yeah. Maybe. Nah, not really. About the same. Nothing too bad going on there. The 18Z GFS, you guys. I want to show you guys this. This was the snowfall potential. Look at that. Up to about 20 inches in spots. A widespread 20 inches of snow with the GFS. This will be an awesome scenario. This would be legendary for everyone. Freezing rain accumulations much further south. The GFS showed an all-out snow solution. We'll have to see if this continues to show into the 0Z data. Also, I would like to see with the 0Z data on what happens here. Okay? Alright, so let's take a look. We're also going to be here for the ensembles. We're going to be here for the Canadian. We're going to be here for some of that data too. Alright. So, does anyone have any questions as of right now? Any questions? Any concerns about the video, the live stream? We're going to be talking about my snowfall forecast. I'm also looking for some information on X, looking at all this. So, the national blend of the models, I just got a screenshot here of this. Look at this. This is the Twitter thing. This is the national blend of the models, of all the models. And you can see a widespread area in New Jersey, Pennsylvania. This will be probably the upper scenarios of 18 to 22 inches of snow. This is definitely on the upper end. This is the blend of the models. This is the latest 0Z. So just keep that in mind. Very important stuff. I like to keep an eye out on. Alright. Let me take a look at Big Thump. Some mixing moves in later. Yeah, the icon's a little tick to the north. Alright. The NAM is way north, around 5 inches in the Philly. The NAM also shows a lot of ice. The NAM The NAM model likes to get, you know, Philadelphia into about 1/10 of an inch of ice. It has New Jersey, southern parts, and central parts up to almost 3/10 of an inch. So I'm not trusting that just yet. Oh, this is a great thing here. Let me show you guys this. The RGM model significantly increases the QPF. I was just talking about this. Remember I was talking about the rates on the R2F? They say 2 to 4 inches per hour with temps in the teens. Wow. These are the rates, you guys. I was just talking about that. See? Very interesting tweets I'm seeing. I'm not the only one that's seeing this. Let me make sure the GFS did not update, and it did. So let's get back into the continuous US. Look at this snowstorm, everybody. At this point, it is locked and loaded for this. The icon, colder, big thump, little mixing after midnight, foot plus everywhere, more impressive snowfall totals than the 18Z. So the trend on the icon, more snow, more colder. NAM is just not ready yet. All right. How is everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing all right. Also, I just want to say thank you for our new subscriber. We are now at 1,315. Thank you. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. We continue to gain subscribers in this winter storm. Okay. Nice to see you. Okay. New Jersey is going to get slammed with snow. JJ, nice to see you. Can you show some soundings for northern New Jersey? Do you think northern New Jersey could be in a jackpot? Okay, I did not see the chat until now. Okay, I live right in the 24-inch area of New Jersey. The jackpot was Ocean County, New Jersey. I can smell it. My uncle works in the township for it, saying it could be up to 36. I am not believing 36 inches. I don't think that's going to be happening. Greetings from Toms River, New Jersey. Do you think northern New Jersey mixes? So there's automatically there's going to be a mixing situation going on somewhere. I don't think it's going to be northern New Jersey. I think southern parts of New Jersey. I think the GFS, I want to keep an eye on the models. I think the NAM is completely off. We cannot trust the NAM until tomorrow. I stopped on eggs, bread, soup, milk, chicken, and butter, and canned goods. Yes, very good on that. Very smart idea. And could the effect of the snowfall totals be significantly? Yes, I think there's going to be a lot of areas with significant snowfall across the region, clearly on the model data. Latest GFS is here. From 18Z to 0Z. Pretty nice. Look at that, you guys. The ice line is a little bit further to the north, I think. I can't tell too much. I want to just take a look at this. So there it is. Our low pressure developing off the Carolinas. Let's get this. Let's do that. You got your low developing here. What this is going to be doing here is far-fetching the moisture and bringing it into the East Coast. Very interesting stuff. You got your heavy banding to the south. You got your wintry mix. Freezing rain continues. 18 inches is enough for me, LOL. I agree. I hope not 36. That would be awesome. 36 inches. That would be legendary if you're a snow lover. Thank you for our new likes. We are now 1 like away from the goal of 20. So I really appreciate that. New hour should be coming out in just a moment. And yeah, we do. Look at this, you guys. Oh, yeah. 18Z compared to 0Z. Okay. So our low was about 1,008 millibars. This one, the latest is about 1,000. Ooh, a little bit lower. It's a tad bit lower on the pressure data. Okay. Your freezing line is a little bit further to the north. 1,006 millibar low. Though, as this is getting closer, this is about 1,006 also. So, a little bit more wind. Look at that total courage so far. 14 inch. Okay. Not bad at this given point. Let's just keep an eye on it. GFS looking pretty good. I mean, you get your coastal low to really develop about 1,002 now. This is going to be a bad one. I got my whiskey, wine ready. Time to cuddle up by the fireplace. So, nice to hear that. All right, thank you. I'm really keeping an eye on this. Ooh, that mixing line gets very close. It's a bit more north compared to the 18Z. So maybe some of the new data, a little bit more north. We have to keep an eye on that. See if that actually locks in. I don't think it's going to go that far north. There is going to be ticks. I already know that, but ooh, look at the snowfall. Lock and loaded. Oh, and then look at that. Your coastal low actually gets down to a 998 now. I just want to keep this in mind here. You're talking about a 998 millibar right here. All right. I will warn. Monday morning, blizzard conditions. Blizzard conditions will be the best along the coastal areas. This snow will probably be blowing snow at this given point. Also, thank you, you guys. We are now almost at 30 views watching right now. I really appreciate all the likes. Once you hit that 20 like mark, it really starts to show. So thank you guys for that. Let's make our new goal up to 30 likes, and we'll stay live. Also, let's get more subscribers. Let's keep adding it up. The goal is tonight. That low is interesting. What happens if it suddenly strengthens a little bit quicker? It means more snowfall rates. Heavier snowfall rates. And look at that. That really tries. Your total snowfall is pretty locked in here. You're looking at still 17 inches. It's a little bit less in the southern regions. It did move a little bit more north, but that extra dose came with the nor'easter. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Let me keep an eye on it for us. Me and my wife are excited. Look at that. It's going to get a little windy here. I'm just going to say that right now. It's going to get a little bit gusty winds. Those winds are going to pick up. Trust. This is the latest GFS here. Yeah, the coastal is a little bit more amped up. Yeah, look at this. I'm just very interested on the snowfall rates because look, this was last run, this was the run before, this was the run before. You see how each run it keeps buffing up those totals because of the banding features. And look at that, 998 now. I mean, yeah, the freezing rain line is a little farther north, but it's mostly to the south. I would say if you're in Long Island, you will struggle. We got 2 feet. I remember the blizzard of 1996. Wow. Nice to hear that. Look at this, you guys. More banding into these regions, but the low's a little bit quicker with a 992. So, gusty winds, though. That's one thing for sure. Looking into. I do want to show you guys this. This is the Frontal Genesis. Okay. The Frontal Genesis is going to be very important. $22 legs. Yeah. Look, with these data, we still got all day tomorrow to plan out these exact details. Why does Long Island have to be freezing rain and sleet line? It's because you guys are right along the coast, okay? If you're right along the coast, you usually get, let me show you a little bit here on the, with some arrows here. Let me go into here. Let's go into here. So, as this nor'easter is really cooking here, right? Let me actually take a look at the total snowfall now. I mean, this low is definitely stronger because the latest, you do have an area of still 18 inches on your GFS. I do believe all of New Jersey will still be. The GFS stays about 18. I want to wait for some other model data. According to this here, I think you guys could switch back a little bit. I cannot. I don't think if you guys do change over a little bit, I don't think it's going to be crazy, in my opinion. I think this is an all-snow event, okay? I really do. I've seen this type of scenarios past tense. Very good ratio bandings here, I'm telling you. But the reason why this is happening, as this low is developing a little bit quicker, it could definitely bring your freezing line. Because you have to remember, you're getting winds from the coastal areas like this. You're getting that warm water pushing a lot of water into the coastline. That likes to warm up the atmosphere a little bit. It's the way the geography is and the way the winds are doing it. So usually the coastline really struggles. And a Miller B type nor'easter, you guys usually get something. Just keeping that in mind. But latest courage, believe it or not. We do talk about higher snowfall totals, believe it or not. You know, near Boston, the GFS says 21 inches. You know, it even has Connecticut of 20 inches. Even Long Island, 20 inches. So I still think this is very big. Very important stuff here to take in shape. Okay? Just keep that in mind. It's not a complete forecast, but just keep this in mind. Look at the latest genesis, okay, of this storm. This is about 1 o'clock Saturday. This starts coming in. This is 1 o'clock. This is 7 a.m. Look at this. A little bit more heavier precipitation going on with your latest GFS. You're talking about more of that genesis, that frontal bombing genesis. It means higher rates. And this is one thing I like to take a look at. The latest 0Z, even though it's a little bit further north, your frontal genesis is coming in even stronger. And when I mean stronger, I mean we're talking a little bit more about heavier frontal end preset. And the latest GFS by 7 o'clock in the afternoon, it's a little bit stronger with it's a little bit further inland, your heavier precip, and this kind of continues to cook through about 1 in the morning on Monday. You're continuing with that nor'easter look, and then boom. Your 700 millibar, this is your line still. About the same, even some heavier precip. You have to remember, look at this. This is by 1 o'clock. This is snow. You're going to have 2 to 4 inches hour rates, most likely. So keep that in mind. That's one trend that has gotten better. Look at this. If we keep going back, look. This is before, and then look. Look how each run has gotten a little bit heavier with your snowfall rates. So that's going to help to intensify this, okay? The storm will start most likely around Sunday morning, probably midnight Saturday. So anywhere from 12 o'clock in the morning on Sunday morning to pretty much into Monday morning, Monday evening. The GFSAs, we're done with the storm. This is by 1 o'clock on Monday now. It's by 1 o'clock, you're left with the flurries, even maybe some sunshine breaking through right before the sunset, okay, before the calm. So just keep that in mind. Very important data. Also, I do want to say we are at 24 likes. Very greatly appreciated. Thank you for everybody joining in the stream. We are doing absolutely wonderful. This is very great information. So, we got some other data to look at. Is the Canadians coming out? I know we got to take a look at the Canadian. We got to take a look at the GEFS. And we got to take a look at the lovely Twitter posts. All right. Let me quickly see what the Twitter people are liking to say about this. So let's reset that. So latest blend of the models. Take north a smidge and totals increased in the Boston area. So the latest thing now has up to 24 inches. 2 feet of snow in Boston. It's becoming a little bit more widespread with the national blend of models. Up to 20 to 24. I would like to see how this continues to play through tomorrow. In the areas like that. Canadians coming out this current moment. We're at 60 hours out. Look at the low developing. A little bit pushed back. High is a little bit stronger here. So this is the latest trending on the model. So boom, boom, boom. Freezing rain accumulations does make it in the southern New Jersey up to 0.2 of an inch of ice. So keep that in mind. That's very interesting stuff there. Let's start looking at the 0Z GEFS here. I know we're going to... If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I can do exactly what I did yesterday. I've just been yapping more about this snow potential. When you get a second, I would appreciate your feedback. Okay. So you're doing great. Thank you. I subscribed. Thank you. Cool. Thanks. I got more time to prepare for the storm. Yes, you do. So, You said, do you think it's out of the realm of possibilities for us in Charleston, Indiana, north of Louisville, to see 1.5 feet of snow? So, give me 1 second. I'm going to actually, you said, let me copy and paste this. All right. I'm going to look for your exact location. You guys now, if you guys really would like to start putting down your counties, and I would do exactly what I did yesterday. I just started out a little bit later today because I'm really in trying to give you guys as much information. So, this is your Charleston in Kentucky. So, okay. Latest Canadians coming out with a very robust, I mean, whew. This is some robust storm. I mean, this is going to be some storm. This is going to be some storm. So let's take a look at your area. So Louisville, just north of Kentucky. Okay, let's go in the southeast maybe. Indiana. No. Let's go back up in the north central. Let's go here. Yeah. Alright, so you want to know about... So if Evansville, Indiana's here, Cincinnati's up here, we're talking about in this region here, right? Somewhere around this region, okay? We're going to watch this through, all right? One moment. So let's watch the latest GFS. You do get your little first round of snow tomorrow into Saturday. This continues to show. And then you see, you do get a little bit of a break before the radar starts filling back in. You get into that thump of snow. How quickly does that happen will dramatically help to know your totals because into these two pieces connect. But the snow does get rather heavy. The heaviest to the south of you, just a little bit. And then it continues, and then it gets a little bit windy. Your latest GFS gets, I mean, you guys are talking about 1 foot of snow at the bare minimum, up to 1/2 foot, okay? The European model likes it a little bit more north, and you get about 1 foot. So in this scenario, I will put about 10 to 15 inches. 10 to 15 inches I will give you in your forecast. If you would like an exact forecast, it'll be about 10 to 15 inches. I don't know why people's messages get restricted. Okay, all of the Weather Channel are saying that Central New Jersey is only getting 1 foot, but I think it might get a little bit more than that. I agree with you. I think a little bit more than that is possible. We'll have to keep this in mind. We're watching the trends, you guys. Well, I'm looking at the latest trends and everything, so that's a good thumping. It is. The NAM model says a whole lot. I'm not agreeing with the NAM right now because it is just way too far north. I will say, more like, yeah, no problem. No problem, Sarlo. Let's take a look at anyone else. You're doing great. I just described. Yeah, no problem. Thank you. Very greatly appreciated here. We're at 1,316 subscribers. I really appreciate all the support today. It's been very great support. Does anyone else have... Do you think Central New Jersey will be an all-snow event? I do. It's going to be tough. If you guys have any more areas you guys would like me to cover, it will be very greatly appreciated. I believe if the band sets up properly for us, we might be on the higher end of that 15. Yes, agree. That can always happen. Alright, if you guys have any more questions, feel free to ask. It'll be very greatly appreciated. I want to see the next storm. I believe, yeah, okay. Let's take a look at the Canadian. That's now ready to rock. Okay. Interesting. Okay. And Canadian's a little bit more interesting. So Canadian decided, okay, look at this. This is one thing we're starting to notice. Look at the 0Z Canadian. Look at this thumping of snow right here. That's setting up. This frontal end, as this coastal low starts to develop and this starts to transfer, we're also noticing the thumping of snow getting heavier. What will southern New England get? I mean, how much are you predicting from central New Jersey? We'll take a look at that in a second. One thing I'm starting to notice on the 0Z data I want to see is, yes, the coastal low is a little bit more closer. So mixing line maybe a little bit further inland. But that thumping of snow is looking even more aggressive. And it's not the only model here. I mean, look. This is the Canadian in the last several models runs. And look at it now. That's very heavy snow. And then that actually continues to push. And the low is maybe a tad bit closer to the coast. But also with it, you're seeing a heavier thumping. You're seeing more moisture out of this. Some stronger bandings of snow in southern New England. I would like to see this, you guys. I mean, it's going to be a battle line here. I think if you're I think south of here will be the heaviest. If you guys are just on this line, you're getting slammed. I mean, some of these snowfall totals, I mean, it's really not that much different. I mean, if anything, there's maybe a little bit more of a tick, but this is about as good as you can get with the Canadian. But one thing I'm noticing is heavier thumping of snow. And what that means here is we're starting to now talk a little bit more about that 2 feet potential getting higher. I'm really, really noticing that. Because we looked at that with the Icon. We looked at that with the NAM. And now we're seeing it with the Canadian. Okay. When we take a look at the Courage, look at this, you guys. Look at this. Boom. Look at this. You're starting to see the totals are increasing a bit. If you guys are in Boston, southern Massachusetts into here, I would like to see the trends here. I would like to see if this green starts, entering these phases here. Because if we start building that frontal genesis a little bit stronger, we're going to be talking about some heavier snowfall totals. I mean, we've been looking at the models over the runs, and it's been getting a little bit more amplified. Even with the latest GFS, I mean, look at this. We're ramping up totals. Even along the Boston area, we're really starting to talk about some of these green areas becoming darker. So, as of right now, the latest trending of the models is of heavier thumping of snow and more crazy snowfall rates and totals at the end of this. Does Long Island... No, it's just ice across Long Island. I think right now what's happening is... Look, Best snowman, $100. Actually, yeah, okay, yeah, never mind. Thank you for all the love and support. I am noticing this, though. Look at this. I just want you guys to take a look at this. The blend of the models have gone up. The model data has showing a little bit more of the way of heavier snow. Oh, the latest. Oh, wait, that's. Never mind. I mean, look at that. You're talking about the latest 0Z showing up to 21 inches here. We're starting to see more 20-inch marks. I would like to keep an eye on this because I do believe we're on a verge of another event. Look at the GFS here. I mean, believe it or not, this is the 0Z GFS, and your heaviest is, 2 feet there. You got, I think your best area for best of 2 feet. I mean, look at this. You're really starting to show those brighter snowfall totals. A little bit past 20 inches. All right. Yeah, look at this, you guys. The RRFS and that's going to be the replacement of the NAM model is straight up nuts. 2 inches of local of 2.2 in spots. The QPF in an hour, that's 3 to 5 inches of snow an hour. Yeah, 3 to 5 inches an hour. That's why I'm saying you need to watch this because the QF feel very similar, pretty big differences. I mean, that thumping of snow. And then this is your Canadian. So the latest trends. Hey again, nice to see you. Coffee dude, nice to see you. Also, we're 1 like away from 30, so I really appreciate that. If you guys are new, please like and subscribe. And thank you for our new subscriber. We are now at 1,317. Let's get a goal up to 1,400 subscribers. That would be awesome, you guys. Let's get up to 1,400 subscribers. That'd be very greatly appreciated and awesome. I'm really watching the latest data. I'm seeing some different things play out. Heavier snowfall in some of the regions. You're talking about a little bit heavier. Yes, it's a little bit more north. But you guys, it's only 1 run. It's a little bit more tick to the north. It's going to tick south and north. So I'm not locking this in yet that, oh, this is just going to keep going north. That's not it. What's going on is the models are still planning out the exact details. This is going to continue to wobble throughout tonight, probably into tomorrow, but it's not going to move anything dramatically. What I think is going to continue to happen, though, is the coastal low is going to develop a little bit faster, and you're going to get more of that robust snowfall. Because I'm really seeing, I mean, the Canadian here, some of these rates here are pretty ridiculous. Like you said, 2 to 4 inches an hour. And some really, really strong banding. When we take a look at the latest Canadian here, I hope everybody's doing great tonight. Alright, yeah, I'm new with you guys. Most short of you guys caught my eye door and not hurricane, but I'll also tell my other weather nerds that your cycle, you guys are killing it, man. Thank you. Very greatly appreciate it. Gladly. Thank you. So why I'm staying on live so long the last 2 days is because I'm watching the models. I'm looking at what's the new trend. So we already know that there's been a north trend and a south trend. And all right. This is the Frontal Genesis when we're taking a look at the latest Canadian. Look at this, you guys, by 7 in the morning. We're noticing why the precipitation's getting a little bit heavier is because the low is a little bit more robust. Look at some of this Genesis here that goes through by 7 o'clock. Huh. It's pretty crazy here. And your freezing rain line, if this freezing rain line, let's say this freezing rain line is here instead, I don't think it's going to be this far north. I really don't. But okay. Your heaviest precip is up in here at this time. I'm going to be honest with you. If we continue to see these trends, I could see 24 plus inches of snow. Look at this. This Frontal Genesis supports 3 to 5 inches an hour rates. How do we also know that is, let's look at the moisture. Look at the heavy snowfall totals that are showing up. Heavier and heavier. That's the key, you guys. Heavier and heavier precipitation. We're really locking it in now. Now, the newest trend I want to watch is snowfall totals. I think we are trending more right now of snowfall tonight in the latest runs, but a little bit further north, okay? It's not really a trend. It's going back and forth. We have to keep an eye on it. They're saying north of Delaware is getting almost 18 inches. I'm right on the 95 corridor. Okay. Do you have an exact town? If you can give me an exact town, I can kind of search it up and put you right into, I can kind of look for your exact area. And regions like that. Also, I do want to say thank you guys for 32 likes. We have crushed it. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. It means a lot here. I will be going live tomorrow afternoon, by the way. Just letting you guys know. Ooh, January 30th. Now, it doesn't show the storm. Oh, there it is. Look at this, you guys. Our next nor'easter is looking a bomb. Okay, I don't want to jinx it yet, but your 12Z had a nor'easter around the 31st, and it had a monster nor'easter here. This has been showing up on the model data. I will have to admit, keep this in mind. It is very worrying. Also, thank you. We are at almost 40 people watching. Very greatly appreciated. We're going to be talking a little bit more about some other stuff. If you guys want me to, Bear, Delaware. Okay, so let me get the exact location here. So, Bear, Delaware. Okay, let me look at the maps. We're going to get the exact area. Now I'm going to look exactly for you. So, okay, you're right there. Okay, let me look in your exact location. You're right near Philly. So, you are in, okay. You're about right there with the storm. This is okay. Let's do this. So this is you should start snowing by midnight, 12 o'clock at midnight. Okay, I do believe it will start snowing, and then I do think we will be seeing some more snowfall totals continue to come in. This is Bear in Delaware. Okay, we're doing really good right now on that, and then we do see that thumping of snow into 1 o'clock. I do think you guys will mix with some wintry mix. Probably around 7 o'clock. I still do not recommend you going outside. You're going to be talking about some damaging winds, potentially 30, 40 mile an hour winds. I do think you guys will be on the line here, that freezing rain and that wintry mix. It really depends. I still think I think this is going to keep trending wobbling, and the wobbling is slowly by tomorrow night. I think by tomorrow night, we're going to have a solid where the heaviest snowfall is going to be. And if the stronger trend of the low continues to show, I think we're going to be in for it. Okay. So we do trying it into into Monday morning. I think everyone comes back into some back end snow. It's going to be windy and the temperatures are going to be near 0 wind chills. So it's going to be very cold. A lot of potential power outages with this storm. So if you guys do need generators, some food, just be prepared on this, as we got some interesting things that we have to take a look at. Okay. Also, I do want to say we are at 35 likes. I very greatly appreciate it. Let's get our new goal up to 40 likes. That would be awesome. Also, let's make a new goal. Let's get another 10 subscribers. So if you guys are new to the channel, please please subscribe. Can you look at Essex County, New Jersey, specific town, Orange, New Jersey. So let me look at this. Orange, New Jersey. Let me find the exact location and then we'll take a look at that. We also have the new Euro coming out soon. I'm very interested on that. So, okay, so this is Orangetown in New Jersey here. All right. Your forecast is a little bit more tough. This is all right, let me quickly do that. So Orangetown, New Jersey is about here. Somewhere around there. So let's take a look at the GFS. Let's just see. I do think you guys, by 1 o'clock. I think everybody's snowing in PA, New Jersey, New York City, Long Island by 1 o'clock. I think your bigger snowfall is going to be later that night, in my opinion. Also, I just want to say thank you for our brand new subscriber. We are now at 1,318 subs. I really greatly appreciate it, everybody, for the continuous rise in the channel. I am continuing to try and wake this channel up, you guys. I'm really putting out my effort. I'll be showing you guys my snowfall forecast in a few minutes. So stay tuned for that. We do see this staying all snow pretty much up to 7 o'clock. This could be some of your heavier bandings of the snow. And then the GFS says no. We stay all snow here. Some of the other data shows it making it up to there. If you guys stay on the GFS, you guys are getting about 15 plus inches of snow. You're getting about 30 mile an hour winds. You're getting low visibility. You're getting a classic Miller B nor'easter to play out. We're going to have to keep this in mind, but I got 2 generators. I'm ready. All right. If you guys do get freezing rain, I would say about a glaze to 1/10 of an inch. Sleet, maybe a 1/2 an inch if the wintry mix. And then Snowfall will be more like 8 to 12 inches. On the low end, I think 8 to 12. Mid-range, I would say about 12 to 16. And then the upper ends, probably 16 to 20 inches of snowfall on the upper end of this. West Virginia's Panhandle. All right. Let's go. Do you have an exact county? Is that in the exact county by chance? Is that the exact county? Oh, I'm very interested on that. So West Virginia Panhandle. I'm gonna start looking. We're doing really good. Thank you guys for all the support. So, like the GFS in the Courage, New Jersey. Oh yeah. Oh wait. I keep doing that. Ooh. Is anywhere from 15 to 20 inches. All right, out of the GFS, Jefferson County. Yeah. Euro model. I'm not going to show you guys the Euro because I'm waiting on the 0Z Euro. Alright, we'll look at this too. Bear, Preston, Tucker County, and West Virginia too. Alright, yeah, no problem. Jefferson County. So, let's look at this. Alright, give me 1 second. I need to look at all these counties here. I'm going to be... So, the Panhandle here. Okay. So... So, what's the Panhandle? So... Oh! So, you're talking about over here. So... in the Panhandle of West Virginia, right here. I actually never knew that they had a Panhandle. Look at that. I just learned something. Thank you to you. Really greatly appreciate it. Alright, let's take a look at this. So, this is your latest GFS model. GFS loves the being snow. You're not going to get the heaviest, but you're going to get a lot. It stays all snow. Gusty winds. You don't have to worry about any ice. Okay, I will show you about that. Can Mass get 20 inches? So, I do think Massachusetts can get 20 inches. With some of the latest data, I think you guys can get up to 2 feet of snow, in my personal opinion. Okay? And then Eastern Panhandle, too. Wait, what? Where is the Eastern Panhandle to? Alright, you guys are going to have to give me counties. I see some counties. You're going to have to give me some counties if you guys want me to do this, because I'm not too good with my geography in West Virginia. But I am willing to look for it if you guys tell me some counties. It'd be very greatly appreciated. Thank you. So, the total snow out of the Courage here, you're on a pretty heavy side here. You're talking about the Panhandle up to maybe 20 inches of snow out of the GFS. And this is pretty lock and loaded. Okay? Pretty good right here. Lock and loaded with that. Yeah, I'm talking about Eastern Panhandle. It looks like at the end of the finger of touching Maryland. Okay, we'll look at that too. The European, though, on the 18Z still had you guys up to about 16, 17 inches. So I would say in the Eastern Panhandle of West Virginia, I would say right now, expect probably 14 to 18 inches. That will be your guys' forecast. 14 to 18, around there. All right. Let me keep looking at this area, Jefferson County. All right, so we did Hazleton. We're now going to go into... Okay, I already looked at Jefferson County for you. We're going to go now into Preston and Tucker County, West Virginia. All right, so give me 1 second. Let me get your region all set up here. I'm going to look for your region and then look at the... All right. Where are the maps? All right. Bear Creek. Oh, you're just a little bit under that. So, Bear Creek is around here in the mountains here. European stays up to almost 24 inches, almost 2 feet of snow. Your precipitation also, your GFS also paints out a pretty solid picture of 18. All right. I do want to say thank you for our new subscribers. We are now surpassing, we are getting very close to that 14K. We are now at 1,322 subscribers. I very greatly appreciate it. Let's get that number. Let's see if we can get enough. Let's just keep getting as many subscribers. Our major goal is to 1,400 subscribers. By the start of hurricane season, the goal is actually 2,000 subscribers. That would be awesome and lovely if we could get that much. I know it's going to take some time, but that would be awesome if we could do that. So, let me quickly go into here. Okay, we got a lot of people asking. So, I live in Burlington County in New Jersey. How much? Okay, so now we're going to go to Eagles. Okay, you're good. We'll look at the National Weather Service guide. Let me quickly go there. Oh, my. We're going to look at the National Weather Forecast. That is really smart. You're good. Blah, 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 blah. Major storm, icing. Keep this in mind. So, we'll look at that in 1 second. Someone did ask me, Burlington County, New Jersey. All right. Let me do that area just next. We're going to just keep going down the list here. So, give me 1 moment. Very greatly appreciate it. All right. All right, so Burlington, New Jersey here. It would be awesome. All right. All right. Brains. Oh, look at this, you guys. Quickly, look at the 0Z. We see a nor'easter out of the latest thing by February 1st. Look at this, blizzard. taking shape in the northeast. Another nor'easter. Crazy. We'll see if that comes to true. Alright, so Burleson, New Jersey is right around here. We're going to look at the latest GFS. So Burleson, the Burleson of New Jersey is right here. So let's keep this in mind. We do see you guys having the heaviest snows probably later in the morning around 1 o'clock. According to GFS, you do mix. Down here, I do think some mixing. If you guys do mix, I can say in Burleson, I would say probably 10 to 14 inches of snow. 10 to 14 inches of snow. And then I do believe maybe a half an inch of sleet and then a tenth of an inch of freezing rain. That'll be the forecast there. Can be a little bit more. It can be. Just all depends on the latest model. The Euro is a little bit less and shows more of that. Just the 10 to 14 GFS a little bit less. NAM model, I'm not even trusting just yet. Not yet. Okay. And that's in Burleson, New Jersey. All right. So, what about Williamsport, PA? How much snow do you guys want to get? Okay, 1 second. We are continuing to keep going here. I'm going to go as much as possible. You guys are going to have to give me a little bit. I'm trying to look for these. I'm looking for the towns, and I'm looking for the exact location. I did some research in a wide, Williamsport, PA. Okay. So, in Williamsport, PA, let's take a look at Williamsport, PA. So, thank you guys. We have hit 43 likes. Burleson already had 7 inches of frozen snow. Yes, I do know that. Thank you for the 43 likes. I really greatly appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Whew, I am getting whooped here with this update. Love it. So, you guys will stay all snow at that given point. Let's go into the Northeast. Let's go into here. Let's go into the GFS. And let's just go into... that's where Williamsport, PA is. You guys will stay all snow. You guys will not be probably in the heaviest, but you guys will definitely be dealing with some pretty nasty banding. And then this should end by Monday, early Monday morning. Total snowfall, as of right now, up to about 18 inches. So I would say 15 plus inches for the Williamsport, PA area. I don't think we have to worry about no freezing rain accumulations. If anything, maybe in the Burleson area, like I said, maybe up to a tenth of an inch, maybe a little bit more. Depends how far that comes up the East Coast. How far does that do that? European agrees with the same thing here. About 18, 20 inches of snow. And this is the Courage snowfall. And then in the Burleson area in New Jersey, almost about 10 inches. Lehigh Valley, about 16 inches. New York City, about 13. Central New Jersey, about 14, 15 inches. Some pretty crazy stuff here. So, I'm not worried about the icing. I'm thinking about more than that. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, thank you. Just subscribe, like, if you guys would like to donate. I know we had a few donators yesterday. It was really greatly appreciated. Thank you. Thank you guys for all the support. We have just been gaining subscribers like crazy. We are flying through these subscribers. I really appreciate it because it does help to grow out the YouTube channel and the more of the snow. So possibly snowfall totals in Exton, Ohio. My career is due half a work on Mondays all. Okay. I'm going to keep going down the list here because I know we have a lot more. All right, so I did the Preston. I did Williamsport, PA. The meteorology kid said, can you tell me about Nassau County? I know we might see a wintry mix, but can you tell me about that? So let me look for this. Is this in New Jersey, buddy? Because I need to kind of know the exact areas. Okay, this is in Long Island. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about Long Island now. All right, let's go now into Long Island here. If you guys have any questions about Texas, because I haven't even talked really about Texas, and I am going to, when we are done with the questions and stuff, I'm going to like to talk a little bit about the Texas-Oklahoma storm tomorrow. Yeah, there's a lot, you guys. I might be taking a break. I might have to be taking a break. I need some water, you guys. My throat is starting to kill me, not gonna lie. We are crushing it here, though. We got 47 likes. Let's get a goal up to 50 likes now. I just really appreciate all the new subscribers. It has been very crazy. We will be going live tomorrow, you guys. And we'll have a little bit better information on the feed tomorrow also. Okay, we've been going at it for over 2 hours. We've been doing great. Just give me 1 second. One second. I'm quickly getting some stuff here. Just shared your video on X. Thank you. Very greatly appreciate it here. So, let's get right back into here. In the weather team here. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. It has been absolutely great. We are at 13 we have almost gained like 20 subscribers. It's been awesome. But let's keep it going here. So, okay. Let's see. So the Long Island area. I do think you guys will be mixing. Okay. I would say up to 2/10 of an inch of ice potentially. Okay. Your total snowfall on the European is about 13, 12 inches. I do think the Euro actually comes out in the next 30 minutes or so. So I was looking into that information there just a little bit. So just give me a little bit. GFS, once again, a little bit. That snow your slide. I don't know. It's going to be a tough call. The mean snowfall accumulations with the latest GFS here is about the same. Up in the Boston area, you got a solid 12. New York City, solid 12. Most of the areas look pretty solid here for a pretty good snowstorm. When does the Euro come out? In just a few minutes. We've been cranking it out in the last couple hours here, you guys. I'm getting a little tired here. I will be ending the stream in just a few. Not in a few, probably in the next 10 minutes. I'll be ending the video because we did hit 50 likes. We'll have to just wait and see. Look at this blizzard. Look at this, you guys. Another crazy run by the GFS. Up to 40 plus more inches by February 1st. Crazy. Wow, look at that. 980 millibars. Nice. The Euro model should not be out yet. No, not yet. The UK is out. About the same thinking here, too. All right. I really appreciate everybody coming in here. I am starting to get a little bit tired. I will be ending this live stream in just a few, probably around 12 o'clock. I've been going at it. I need a kind of a little bit of break. We'll have to really wait and see what happens here. Some of the data is very important. I think I'd rather wait to continue answering questions tomorrow. I think we did a pretty good round today. Also, if you look at the RGM, also more snow on that. So that's just very interesting. Lastly but least, I am showing you guys my snowfall map. So this is my snowfall map. Take a screenshot. Do whatever you want with it. Just don't quote me exactly on it. I do have Philly in 10 to 15 inches. I think 10 to 15 inches. Southern New Jersey, southern parts of Pennsylvania. I think I-78 on north is 15 plus inches. I think a lot of regions are going to get 15 plus inches in the plus and the red. I might be actually adding an area tomorrow of 20 plus. I might be having to add some areas up to 20 plus inches, 20, even up to 24 inches potentially. Near the Boston region. I think your chances for that has continued to gone up. So keep this in mind, you guys. This is my snowfall forecast. I'm actually going to be posting it on Twitter tomorrow morning and on to the YouTube here in a little bit. So keep that in mind. Okay. This is the snowfall forecast map. into Texas and stuff. Storm cranking up tomorrow. I will be off from work tomorrow. So I will try and get as of a live much earlier and probably go live for about 6+ hours. So you're going to have to trust me on that. We have once again gained a lot of subscribers today. Whoever hasn't subscribed that's been watching this and wants your guys' towns and stuff to be prepared, I will be answering more questions tomorrow. That's the goal, and I will probably be updating my snowfall forecast also tomorrow and keep giving you guys the latest, and also make a few other maps. I want to make some power outage maps and other maps. That's going to be very important into tomorrow's live stream. So as we continue to crank down the details, I do want to say thank you for 50 likes. I really appreciate it. If anyone hasn't liked, please go like, subscribe. It helps the channel out, and it also helps to give out more people in the viewing area. You see how tonight we had a lot of questions in this region. We had a lot of questions in this region. We were picking a lot of audience up in here. Let's keep spreading it, because I said we were going to be live for this, and the more winter people we can get, it's going to be really good when it comes to hurricane season. Also, we already got our hurricane season, so I'm really trying to wake Weather Kingdom up with the last hurrah of winter in the next couple months. Really grow the channel on the winter side of things, and continue the continuing of the waking up on the channel. I think that's going to be very greatly appreciated. Our goal is up to almost 2,000 subscribers. My goal is up to about 1,500 subscribers by the end of winter, and I do believe we can do it. We'll have to just wait and see. Any last little questions anyone wants to ask me? Because I know we got some footage here that's going to be very important. So this guy has 18 to 24. I mean, all right. There is chances for power outages along Long Island. That's a really good question. I do think anywhere in these areas, it has a chance for power outages. I think that's really possible, especially along the coast where the gustier winds are going to be breaking out. Good news, we're going to get some of the mesoscale models with the wind and stuff tomorrow. So that's why I think we're going to answer some more questions tomorrow. I'm going to make a wind forecast potentially also. And that's my goal. Wind forecast, update the snow forecast, power outage forecast, and the major snowstorm quantity of it. We are at 54 likes. We're actually 6 away from 60 likes. That would be awesome if we could just smash the like button, everybody. Any last little bit of questions, bring it on. I know the year. Oh, wait, 1 second. I want to look at the European AI GFS quickly. I haven't even looked at this. So, okay. So, continues to show precip accumulations heavier, but the cold is actually colder. More precip looking likely into the southern New England. That just continues to show. Yeah, more precip. And the low strengthens a little bit more like this. So that's something to keep an eye out on the latest European AI. Oh my. Look at the continental US. Look at that monster potential wave. Look at that blizzard. Pretty crazy stuff there with the latest GFS. And the Canadian does not show a... It does try towards the end. Alright, you guys. I think I'm going to be ending it here. I hope everybody had a great and wonderful stream. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Alright. I hope you guys really enjoyed the stream. Thank you guys for all the support. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I know